Hi, this is Faith, and you are watching The Faith Factor. Holla. All right, y'all. Stand up, stand up. A lady is in the room. What's going on? You are watching The Faith Factor, and I am your humble host, Faith. And I am here to address some low-class Jezebel lies. One Jezebel in particular, I would like to go ahead and address because, see, I'm getting sick and tired of rumors, innuendo, people taking your story and adding and subtracting to it. It's just something that is tacky. It's something that is classless. And this is the reason why, even now, more now than ever, I want to continue to do this series on a better class. I am a better class of woman, and I can tell you all the ways why I'm better than these Jezebels. And yes, I'm going to say some stuff that's triggering. I'm going to say some stuff that's going to make you mad. I'm going to say some stuff some of y'all not ready to hear. And guess whose problem that is? See, it's not my problem if it makes you mad. It's not my problem if you're not ready to hear it. It's not my problem that some of y'all triggered. Now, to the ones that do support me and support this message, you are the ones that are ready. I know I had to get ready to make changes in my life. And it wasn't going to happen until I was ready. So if you're not ready, that's fine. But don't lie on me and defame my name and bring up my children because you're not ready. See, that's what you should not be doing. But the Jezebels of low class don't understand this. Did you know that you can disagree with someone's message without tearing down the person? Did you know that you can attack talking points and not people? What did my daughter have to do with this message? Now, some years back, I want to say 2 or 3 years back, when the pandemic first started, and I explained this before, but it seems as if I have to tell my own story again when I already told this story. And it's not about cop and please, because I don't plead to nobody. I am my own woman. But it's about setting bitches straight that like to lie. And that is another trait of a low-class woman. Now, the reason I'm a better class is because I shared my story with other women and this was a cautionary tale to caution women not to go down that road and to have more self-control. I told that story to help other women who might be faced in that situation with grown adult children. I did not tell that story so that low-class bitches and hoes and women of a Jezebel mindset trying to protect their best interest could take it and bastardize it, lie, and turn it into a public spectacle for YouTube views. When people come on here and they share their stories with you, they don't share their stories with you for you to do that. And this is the reason why I'm better than all you bitches, because you'll never see me doing that over here. But you want to talk about somebody judging. I believe that we should all judge. But if you're going to judge, make sure you're judging and hearing both sides of the conversation. Now, I'm an authority on this subject because I have walked through some fires in life. You cannot become an authority unless you have experience. And because I have the experience, I have become the authority because I have put in the work on myself, and I know what it feels like to change when you do not want to change, because change is extremely uncomfortable. I was uncomfortable for a long time, just like a lot of you triggered ass women out here are uncomfortable with this particular series that I'm doing. But sometimes in order to change, you're going to have to go through being uncomfortable and looking at yourself in HD. I'm talking about high definition. Not no 1080. I'm talking about that laser focus HD. And that's the reason why some of you are attacking my platform like this, because this is going to cause and open up a whole lot of cans of worms. And see, me being the blunt woman that I am, maybe I can be a little bit more discreet. Maybe I can be a little bit more sensitive. Maybe I can be a little bit more delicate with my words. But at the end of the day, I'm going to have to call a thing a thing. Hey, melanated vessel. So at the end of the day, I'm not copping no please. Because I've heard some of you say that. What's up, Sister George? What's up, Mahogany Roots and MJ? It's not about cop and please. It's about not allowing people to take the story that you shared and bastardize it and turn it into lies for their own agenda. Yeah, that's right. Just a regular guy. I'm going to call a thing, and I'm not going to hold back, because these bitches ain't holding back on me. They don't have no consideration for my child, but they going to act as if they do. They don't give a fuck about my daughter. My daughter is currently in treatment, and I told everyone this. But that did not stop a lying bitch from doing a hit piece anyway. So take that into consideration while they pretending they care so much. After I said, I was cool with some of y'all, and my daughter watches this shit, and she is currently going through her treatment. Can you please refrain from bringing that up? And I'm sorry, sweetie, for putting the information out there, because I didn't think that I was sharing with snakes that would take an opportunity to use it against me. I'm sorry, sweetie. I'm so sorry. I should have known better, and I'm going to take responsibility and hold this L again for you. If you're listening, I'm sorry. Thank you. Um, I always tear up when I talk about my daughter because I'm so proud of her. Now, not only did I have to take accountability for my part in that situation that happened, because at the time that it happened, my daughter was going through depression, but we did not know. In the beginning, when her and her boyfriend came to live with me, and I'm just going to give you a little background information on me because I had to raise 4 children by myself. And I had to fulfill a role of protector because I was the first line of defense my children had. So I've always been very protective over my children. So when that boyfriend came, I didn't like him. I thought he was not good enough for my daughter. So being the protective mother that I am, the first person I sought to protect was my daughter in the situation where he was committing violence against her. So I laid hands on him first and put him out. That did not go. So that was the first thing I did. The first person I protected was my daughter. Then when it was just me, my daughter, and my grandson, I did not know that she was going through something, mentally. I don't even think she knew. None of us knew. So for this person to put out a video talking about I was just beating on my mentally ill daughter is so disingenuous. Nobody knew my daughter was mentally ill. She was just doing things and I had no idea. Usually, before you find out that something's wrong with your loved one who was otherwise normal and perfectly fine before they became depressed, something drastic has to happen before you look into seeing about getting them some help. And in this case, the drastic situation that happened was when I witnessed her abusing my grandson. And I know that and in that situation, the person that needed to be protected was the child, not the adult, who was my daughter. The child, who was a child at the time, was my main priority, not my grown daughter. And I did not know anything was going on with her at the time. We found out that until later. So before people start going around mixing and remixing this story to fit their narrative, please come and get the story from the horse's mouth and have some compassion. Now, as far I'm sorry, my mic went on mute. Now, situation with me almost doing 7 years. Initially, when they charge you with a crime, they give you the highest charge they can. So because the situation with my daughter involved me putting her in a chokehold, it wasn't me just wailing off and beating the hell out of her like that. I put her in a chokehold to kind of get her away from my grandson. And when the police was called and she was questioned, she told the police about the chokehold. Now, choking is an automatic aggravated assault. My daughter didn't know this because I think if she did, she would not have said anything to that effect. And I didn't know this. So that's how I almost got 7 years, because of the chokehold. So I wasn't just pounding away until she was chopped liver. I put her in the chokehold to kind of just, jank her to her senses of what she was doing to my grandson. And then I released her from the chokehold. But tomorrow or maybe next week, somebody will be using this against me too, no doubt. So when I went to court and my case was seen before a judge, the judge reviewed my case and my past criminal history was taken into consideration, along with a whole bunch of other things. Like, are you a productive member of society, et cetera, et cetera. I'm a truck driver. I have a great career. I have a great company. I've never had anything in my criminal background before. And so the judge, using their discernment, saw it as and ordered me and my daughter to go to family counseling. And I had to do anger management and DV classes. So when I first went to my anger management class, I was pretty mad. I was like, why do I even have to go through this in the first place? Because I was protecting my grandson. I was really, really furious, even though the crime was knocked all the way down to a misdemeanor and I wasn't going to have to do any time. I was furious that I was being held accountable anyway. And I did not understand why I had to take any accountability. I finesse life. Yes, family counseling was exactly what we needed, because it was in family counseling that it came out that my daughter was suffering from some major depression. And that was after the fact. So yes, you hit the nail on the head. It was the family counseling that was the blessing, because if we didn't go to the family counseling, we would not have ever found out about her mental state. And so that's the reason why I said she also took accountability for her part in the situation as well. Now, during her healing process, it was assessed that my grandson was not safe in an environment with her until she got herself together. So we had to send him to live with his father. And my daughter felt bad about that, and she felt worthless, and she blame herself, and she beat herself up about that. But I told her that there is no shame in admitting that you need help and going to get help. There's no shame in getting help. She needed help, and she needed the father to step up and take over while she got that help. So that was almost going on 3 years ago. Now today, my daughter is thriving. She's thriving. But that is because she took responsibility. She took accountability. She didn't make excuses, and she put in that work. And I had to do the same thing. I had to take responsibility. Like I said, when I first went to anger management and DV, I was mad. I'm like, why am I here? I was just protecting my grandson. But after going through counseling and going through all those courses and learning some things about myself and what triggers me, I found out that I did not handle that situation exactly right. Like, sure, I'm supposed to intervene if somebody's helping my grandson, but I could have done that in a much more nonviolent way. And so, in going through the therapy sessions and the counseling sessions and finding out how to have more self control, finding out how to de escalate situations. Like I said, when you saw me on my panel with Miss Oracle, and Miss Oracle was kind of, trying to escalate a situation, I have two choices. I can escalate with her and it be a fiasco, or I can de escalate the situation and move on with my show. And so, what you have been seeing in my actions with other people is me utilizing the tools that I have learned. And I'm not saying it's easy all the time, because it's not. I'm not saying I haven't gone off a few times after that, because I'd be lying if I said I haven't. It's been a step-by-step process, but I see growth and change. And there will be people that will try to stomp on your growth by pushing your buttons. And I fight hard every day not to allow that to happen. And each time I find myself in a situation where someone is trying to push my buttons, I have to remember to take those deep breaths and think of a way to de-escalate. Use the tools that were given to me to de-escalate instead of matching the person's energy. I remember a while back when I was on Rude's panel and I told him I match energy. Matching energy is not always the right choice. Because if someone comes to you with negative energy, it's kind of like they're wanting you to match their energy. They're looking for a battle. So they're going to press your buttons until they get what they want. And the answer to that is not to give it to them. If you take away the toy, then the baby has nothing to play with. So that's what I do now. I learn to de-escalate, and I know what my triggers are now, and I go through a process of self-control. So that initial video that I did, I had went through a few counseling sessions, and I learned that, and I wanted to share that with my audience. But then my daughter was embarrassed about me sharing about the situation, so I took the video down out of respect for her. Hey, Juju. But now, these hit dogs hollering. Let's talk about these hit dogs. They're a bunch of women who are threatened by the message that I'm wanting to give to you guys. Because of one area of the message, by the way, it's not even the entire area of my message that I want to focus on, but it's one area of my message. And that is loving yourself enough not to try to conquer the world with your vagina, and to focus from inside out. Because see, if you are a type of person that feels the need for validation on the inside, that's going to work its way to the outside. So it's going to come out in how you act towards people. It's going to come out in how you dress. It's going to come out in how you talk to people. The need for validation from others more than the validation that you have for yourself is a drug within itself. You got to constantly get a hit off of that validation from others. But like I said, this isn't a video yet for a better class of woman. I have something that I'm going to put out tomorrow. I hope you guys like the new intro, by the way, because that will be the new intro for a better class of woman. So if you haven't had a chance to see the intro, you can play it back on the replay, but that will be the new intro for that. And these women are threatened by that message. Look, I'm not telling you what to wear. I'm not telling you that at all. It's not even really about that. It's only a part of it. And no, because I saw somebody post a picture of themselves in a hijab with just their eyes showing. And this is what the ridiculousness is of people. You go from one extreme to the other. Ain't nobody over here telling you to walk around in a hijab. The ridiculousness. There is a way for you to dress and look attractive and even sexy without having to go to the extreme, which is walking down the street in see-through clothes where everybody can see everything and nothing is left to the imagination. Facts, Juju. The truth will be hated. Now, I can sugarcoat it for you, and I can come out here and I can spin my message in a nice tone of voice, and I can say some fluffy words for you to make the, how can I say, soften the blow. I can soften the blow for you if you like. So if you want me to soften the message a little bit and not use the word Jezebel to describe Jezebel behavior, or hoe to describe hoe behavior, or sugar baby to describe hoe the behavior. Now I could, go and look into my repertoire of a vocabulary and come out with other words to describe Jezebel behavior. But at the end of the day, it is what it is, right? Shout out to Juju for the $5 super chat. She says, showing love, sister, more uplifting, protection, and healing. Thank you. And by the way, like I said, that was so long ago. We have been through so much family counseling and therapy sessions. My daughter is doing much better now. As a matter of fact, I really like how she has handled herself in hearing some of the backlash that's like mostly centered towards me. I'm so proud of her. I'm very proud of her. Because I thought that it would be something that would break her and make her go back into her feeling of feeling worthless, but it didn't. So that is a sign that she is moving forward and healing. And I'm so grateful. But that's what putting in the work does for you. It does make you stronger. And so I'm glad that she is a lot stronger. Thank God. Because it made me feel bad. And I felt very, very I felt guilty for having shared with my audience in the first place. Because I never want anything to come back and harm her while she's going through her self-actualizing journey. So I will ask again to those Jezebels to leave my daughter in that situation out of this. If you don't like the series, once again, you don't like the series. If the series triggers you and bothers you, so be it. But listen to some of the things that I'm saying in my series and focus on the talking points. Not me and my daughter, because you don't know a damn thing about that situation. And another thing, I was at Woman's Sphere earlier, and she was saying that Koja Malik, who is the person and the source of the reason why these women, have this information. Because like I said, I took the video down out of respect for my daughter. But Koja deemed it fit because she was triggered to share it with those Jezebels on the panel. And so they took her half-ass rendition of the story and ran with it. I have never been on drugs because it came to my attention that was part of the conversation. I don't know where she got that from. That was never part of the story at all. But a better class of women will continue. It will roll out whether they like it or not. The first video will be dropping tomorrow. So I expect all of you to be here, and I expect all of you to support the video and give me your take on what I have to say. Now there's going to be some triggering things. Trigger alert, trigger alert. I'm going to talk about some stuff y'all ain't ready to hear. You ain't ready to process. But I'm an authority on this situation because, like I said, I've been through the fire. I have the experience. And I put in the work to better myself. And that is the reason why I can sit here and say with confidence that I'm better than the Jezebels that are sitting up here trying to destroy my reputation. I am not out here advocating for my daughter to be a sugar baby prostitute like they are. And I do not tell my daughter to defer to her vagina to get money like they do. It's their mentality that makes them a lesser class of woman than I am. Yes, go ahead and block anybody that's twerking in the chat. What's hurting these women is that I am not as big of a hoe as they want me to be. They want me to sit up here and say it's okay if a woman has a child and she's down on her luck and the child is hungry and they don't have food in the house. They want me to say, they want me to give the green light for women to use their vagina as an option to get food in the house. But I know that that is a lie. There are so many other alternatives, especially in this day and time. But see, if I don't endorse the whole mentality, then they're going to attack me. So that's the reason why I can sit here and say confidently, I'm better than all you bitches. Yeah, I said it. Better. Better. Look it up in the dictionary. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and look up the definition for the word better. Because we got a problem with that word. We got a problem with the word Jezebel. We got so many issues with words that are actually in the dictionary, and they're there for a reason. They're there so we can use them to describe a situation, right? Well, better is an adjective. It means a more excellent or effective type of quality. Ooh, you mean that better means excellent and more effective quality? So that means I want a better, a more excellent, and a more effective quality of woman. Thank you, Stoic. Stoic says you are better than them, Faith. Thank you. Now, does better mean perfect? That's the next question. No, it doesn't. Better just means better. It's kind of like when they first invented the telephone. When they first invented the telephone was it was good. The telephone was better than writing a letter because you could just call a person and tell them what's on your mind. Now, does it mean that the telephone was perfect at the time that it was invented? Absolutely not. The telephone was not perfect. That's the reason why the telephone has evolved over the years. Because people were like, man, it's kind of hell that, we got to sit up here and do this Morse code telegraphy stuff with the telephone. And, we got to call the operator, and the operator have to connect us to the person. So let's do a direct line instead. Then we went from, man, you know what? This telephone with this little circle thing that I have to keep, putting my finger in here and doing the rotary dial, and I got to wait to call, and I got to call all these numbers. I just want to hurry up and make my phone call. So then they came out with the keypad. So then after they got the keypad and everything, you're dialing the number and everything else. Then it was like, man, you know what? I am so sick and tired of this damn phone being on this wall. I don't want to have to keep coming to this wall and having to talk right here in front of everybody. I got to whisper, and my parents all in my business and everything else. So they created this long telephone cord that you could take around the corner into the bedroom. And then they said, well, you know what, this cord, I'm tripping all over everything. I'm trying to talk to my girlfriend, Susie, but I'm in the kitchen trying to chop onions, and I can't talk and have the phone in my hand at the same time. Then they came out with the cordless phone. So then now you got the cordless phone. You can walk all over the house, and you can talk, and you can do whatever, and you can go in a room and have you some privacy. But then when you go out and get in your car, the phone is in the house, but you want to call somebody while you're at the park because you saw a crazy fight going on, or your tire got a flat, and you want to call your husband, but you got to wait to get to a payphone. So now they said, you know what? We shall make a cellular phone. The bag phone came. I know y'all remember, some of y'all might not remember, but remember the bag phone that they used to have in the car. So I'm saying all of this to say that being better does not mean that you're perfect. Perfection is a process. And guess what? These electronic gadgets keep on perfecting. So that means as long as you got breath in your body, you're going to keep growing and growing and growing and getting better and better and better until the day you take a dirt nap. And those that say, I don't need nobody to tell me how to be a better class of woman. I know everything that I need to know right now. I don't need to improve. Well, you, my friend, are the telegraph. So you don't want to develop into the actual phone. You're still the telegraph. Your development has been arrested by your own mentality. So you feel as if you made it to your final destination. Congratulations. The rest of us want to evolve and grow. So just because you don't want to evolve and grow, don't be mad because I have evolved into the cellular phone and you're still a telegraph. Now, which is better, the cell phone or the telegraph? See, I can be a little bit more delicate. I can describe the situation without calling you what you are. This is the reason why we need a better class of women. I'm not perfect, but I am better. Somebody make that a hashtag. Post it across your timelines. I'm not perfect, but I am better. Hashtag a better class of women. Now, with that, I didn't want this video to go on too long. I just came on here, and this is the last time I'm going to address this situation. Now, as far as those Jezebels that bought my daughter's name up, we will never again in life be cool on here. Never. And you need me, but I do not need you to get views. So you can take this, crumble it up, and eat off of it. You scavenger ass parasites. And with that said, I want you to take this message that you heard today, because this is my Sunday sermon. Now, I'm not a minister. I'm not I'm not, a pastress or whatever you call them. I don't, I'm not even into the church, okay? So if you didn't get your Sunday message, and if you feel as if you heard this today and you can relate to it, then take this as your Sunday message. Go forth and do great things, as Commendable K would say. And with that, I gotta say, peace. I'm out of here. And I love each and every one of you. Thank you so much for watching.